Alright, let's dive into something that's got the football world talking. Why Palmer and Levi Colwill are sitting out Chelsea's clash with Juventus. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me just say this. It's not just about two players missing a friendly. What makes this really interesting is the bigger picture here. How Xabi Alonso is handling his squad, especially with the Premier League kickoff just around the corner. Personally, I think this is a masterclass in player management, but let's break it down. First up, Palmer. If you take a step back and think about it, Palmer's situation is a bit of a head-scratcher. He's been dealing with a recurring groin injury, which, let's be honest, is never a good sign. Seeing him train separately from the squad raises a deeper question. Is this a minor setback, or is there a bigger issue brewing? What many people don't realize is that groin injuries can be notoriously tricky. They often linger, and if not managed properly, they can sideline a player for months. So, Alonso's decision to keep him out feels like a no-brainer. In my opinion, it's better to lose a player for a friendly than risk losing them for the season opener. What this really suggests is that Alonso is prioritizing long-term fitness over short-term gains, and that's a smart move. Now Levi Colwill. This one hits a bit closer to home. Coming off an ACL injury, which, by the way, is one of the most brutal injuries in football, his absence is a reminder of just how fragile a player's career can be. A detail I find fascinating is that Colwill was absent from the entire training session. That's not just a precautionary measure, that's a statement. Alonso is clearly not taking any chances with him. From my perspective, this shows a level of care and foresight that's often missing in modern football. It's easy to rush players back, especially when they're as talented as Colwill, but Alonso seems to understand the importance of a full recovery. What this really suggests is that Chelsea's medical team and coaching staff are on the same page, and that's crucial for a successful season. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. While Palmer and Colwill are out, Alonso is giving opportunities to others. Danny Welbeck making his debut and 16-year-old Mahdi Nicoll-Jazuli starting. That's bold. Personally, I think this is Alonso testing the depth of his squad. It's one thing to have a strong starting 11, but a successful season often comes down to the strength of your bench. What makes this really interesting is the contrast between experience and youth. Welbeck brings Premier League know-how, while Nicoll-Jazuli represents the future. If you take a step back and think about it, this is Alonso sending a message. Everyone has a role to play, and every player has something to prove. And then, there's Mykhailo Mudryk. His return from a doping ban is a storyline in itself. Sitting on the bench, with lone interest swirling around him, his future is up in the air. One thing that immediately stands out is how Alonso is handling the situation. He's not rushing to make a decision, which, in my opinion, is the right approach. Mudryk's talent is undeniable, but his off-field issues can't be ignored. What this really suggests is that Alonso is weighing all his options, both for Mudryk and the team. It's a delicate balance, but if anyone can navigate it, it's Alonso. So what does all this mean for Chelsea? Personally, I think it's a sign of a club that's thinking ahead. The Premier League is a marathon, not a sprint, and Alonso seems to understand that. By resting Palmer and Colwill, he's not just protecting his players, he's protecting the team's chances for the season. What many people don't realize is that these preseason decisions often set the tone for the entire campaign. If Chelsea can keep their key players fit and give their young talents a chance to shine, they could be a force to be reckoned with. In my opinion, this is a club that's building something special, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. What do you think? Are Alonso's decisions the right ones, or is he playing it too safe? Let me know in the comments below.